Hey guys, Monday, January 27th, 2025. Let's see what gold and silver are doing this week. So far, just looking at the market profile, it's very on the upper range. The only thing that probably helps us here might be the 3 month. Uh, Key thing here is to watch that it's above and it stays above 27.24 and 27.43. These are value area highs. As long as it comes down here and bounces off these things, I think you're in good area to continue. Maybe sideways to grinding higher, but once you fail these, you're going to be draw like a magnet back to 26.63. Looking at our simple glance on all time frames, you are above the cloud. Linear regression channels are all pointing north, and you're above pretty much all the moving averages I look at, which is from the 20, 50, 100, all the way to 200. Sentiment is all up. Dailies look like it pulled back in, but now it's going back up. And there's a negative MACD on the monthly. The weekly now turned positive, which looks like this retracement. This was probably would have been the great entry right here on the 6th to go long. So far, looked like it worked out well in this area starting the new year. And you got a pivot high of 28.01, and the MACD on the daily is, as of right now, negative. So you got negative, positive, negative, but the trend is still up. As long as you can take out 28.01, then it's going to grind high, but I think 28.01 is an interesting number, and I'll show you why. Let's look at our pretty much the geometry I have here. This is an old chart I have. This is the monthly. And I created a Gann grid here from this high. When was this high? In September. This is my Gann grid of monthly. When I created it, it was somewhere for the range of September of 2011. You can see that this range right here, you got your 200%. You know what that number is? 28.01. And that's where we're having a tough time right here, pulling back, going, kissing it, maybe pulled back until it could break through 28.01. What's higher than 28.01? Well, you guessed it, 36.80. So we get to go higher or push on a monthly close above 28.01. I mean, there probably might be a midpoint here, a midpoint quadrant that might get, kissed and maybe stall here and then pull back and just kind of, okay, pull back all the way. But if it gets to the midpoint between these two ranges and you could close above your mid quadrant, there's a high probability of 36.80. That's not including seasonality and cycles and static and dynamic cycles, all the, Gann theory and Elliott wave. Just looking at this technique of a measured move. Let's look at for today. So far in all the time frames, you are positive except the daily. So let's focus on the 4-hour. So we still got a PPS sell signal on the 4-hour, but you're finding support at your midpoint of 27.55. So you need to hold 27.55. Mobile's a little negative. Stokes are kind of sideways. Look like they want to bounce up. We bounced off 27.54. You hit your 75%. If we could get above 75%, which is 27.74, there's a high probability that we're going to test 27.94 and then continue going higher. The equities are selling, so maybe a lot of people are starting to pile in gold. Bitcoin and Ethereum are not doing well either. So it's only one place. I don't know. I guess there's maybe a couple of places you could pile in, but maybe treasuries. But definitely gold. So things are, people are getting in here. So that's the bigger time frame, the big levels. On the hourly, the mobiles are positive. So we got support this quadrant at 2752. This is your target. So there's going to be resistance 2777. Finding support at 25 in the US session. If we get up here and push higher, then you got 2786 and then 2794. Close above here, second level, last level. I mean, if it's going to get some really Momo, then you go to the extreme, which is 2802, 2812. This is then you blew through your highs. So it looks like it could go there. So if you're long from here and you got through all these levels, this will probably be your final level. Maybe take some profit and then assess if it's going to continue pushing higher, because it might go down like this and then just go this way. There's a lot of sellers here. They're not letting it get above 2801. There's a lot of people that don't think it's going to get above 2801. But the more the equities go down, maybe they'll bring pressure to the upside. That's my thoughts and my analysis on gold for today. Let's see what silver is doing. I own gold and silver. Silver, I think, is not doing the best just by looking at the market profile. I mean, we went as high as 35, kind of in the upper range. Still holding this area around 29, so it's still good. But once you get to the daily, you can see that we're having resistance around 31. We're holding around 29, and we're smack in the middle of the point of control. So you have to wait here in order for it to break above 31 or break below 29. So this is what I call chop fest. Chop fest is in the middle, and you can make money here, but you just got to be quick. You got to be watching it, or just have a good, algorithm trading it, or whatever your style is. Monthly, daily, weekly are good. Daily, we're having a tough time. We are below the cloud, so the short time frame, silver is a little weaker compared to gold. And you can see that we're chopping around the point of control, which is 30 and change. MACD is negative on the monthly. However, the trend is still up. Linear regression is not kind of pointing north. They're kind of pointing a little to the side. And the daily is pointing down. So there is a little weakness here on silver. You got PPS sell signal on the weekly. However, the MACD is positive, but you are in chop mode on the weekly. You can see this right here. Reminds me of Nat Gas on the daily. Chop fest on the bigger time frame. Imagine that. We're in chop fest was, the daily. You got between 30 and 31, and it sticks his head out, but it doesn't really resolve. Below the 20, and you're above the 50, above the cloud. So it's kind of, and you got a PPS sell signal on the weekly. The daily, obviously, you can see it already. It's already below the cloud. This is where the bears are holding their fort and trying to pounce on it and push it lower. You're oscillating between the 50 and the 20 SMA with the MACD negative. So let's see how that's going to get resolved. We got some of our geometry here. We put our APF, and this is going from 2002 to our high of 2000, and you can say 11, pivoting to our 2020 low. You can see that we're having a tough time here at the 25%. We're not even close to the midpoint, and this is a monthly chart. I got to work on my geometry on silver. I'm working on some stuff here. We're still chopping around the 25. Let's look at the midpoint. So far in the monthly, we are below your midpoint. So you can see there's signs of weakness. Mobiles are digging in. And you got a PPS sell signal on the monthly. Actually, my bad. Not the monthly. This is the daily. This is the day, the monthly pivots. You're below the monthly pivots. $31 is your midpoint for the month, and you are kind of already below. Stokes are unwinding to the downside. Let's look at our weekly. So yeah, so this is your level 3108. We could get above there. Your next target would be 3141. And then obviously your high. So baby steps. Let's see if we could get above 3107. If not, we're going to test this low of 3047. And for this week, targets to the downside would be 3040, 3014 all the way to 2983. But if we go hold and close above here, these are your next steps, 3139 all the way to 3171. And let's see how we close, at least where we're going this week. So far, Mobos are waking up. It looks like maybe the potential of kiss this and maybe push higher. People getting out of the equity markets. On the hourly, is looking good. Looks like it may want to go higher. I have to go for a long here for the US session. The target is 3104. Midpoint for today is 3125. If we could get above your midpoint, you got your 75%, which is 3143, and then your high. So as long as we could push higher, these are your targets to the upside. So far, the hourly is looking good. TPS buy signal. And on the 4 hour, however, you still got a TPS sell signal, and it's a little more in the negative, so it could probably be a dead cat bounce and push. You gotta wait for price action to at least hold this level in the US session, 3078, and then push higher there to at least 3107 and see what's gonna happen there. Well, I'm gonna sign out. Hope you like this video. I'll keep you posted on my thoughts on gold and silver.